All right, here we go. Epic SAT walkthrough series. Practice test 1. This is video 4. We're on the reading test. We've done the first 3, and now we're on to the 4th passage. So we've done 1 literary passage, 2 that involved scientific studies with graphs, and now we're on to this passage from Virginia Woolf, 3 Guineas. Okay. So this is considering the situation of women in English society, and it looks very much like the kind of thing that would have a thesis statement. So you're going to be looking for 3 things: topic, main idea, and then purpose. Okay? So the topic is just what's generally happening, and the thesis is sort of your main idea. So the topic here is not the River Thames. Okay, what we're talking about has to do with men and women, because we're considering the situation of women in society. So women's situation. And the main idea is what we have to figure out. I mean, it's very likely because of what I see in the first paragraph. It talks about the sons of educated men, this procession of the sons of educated men, that we're going to be talking about women's place not being equal to that of men in English society in this time. But let's take a look at it. Okay, so here we're talking about, we're getting this very literary, prosaic picture about seeing the river flowing beneath, and then the Westminster and the Houses of Parliament. Okay, so we're talking about, you know, places of power. And then over here we've got places of beauty and nature. So here we have our brothers who have been educated. So our brothers who have been educated, passing it out, so they're ascending pulpits, they're preaching, they're teaching, administering justice. They are doing everything. Men do all the awesome things, all the powerful things. So men are the powerful ones. And it says, but now, okay, always pay attention to that stuff. For the past 20 years or so, it is no longer a site, merely a photograph or a fresco. Okay, we go ourselves. So women are joining. Okay, so the purpose of this and the main idea or thesis are going to basically revolve around how and why and in which ways women are joining this procession and becoming more powerful. Okay, we have looked at the pageant in books. Okay, we need look passively no longer. We can leave the house. We can mount those steps. We can go in and out of those doors. We can make money. We can administer justice. Right now we are agitating these humble pens. So no more talk or no more writing. It seems like she's saying it's time for action. Okay? Who can say that we may not dress in military uniform with gold lace, swords? You know, it is about time. So it's coming. It's inevitable. Okay, so our main idea seems to be that women are joining men in terms of power. All right, we have not come here to laugh or to talk of fashions, men's and women's. We're here to ask ourselves certain questions. Okay, and they are very important questions. Okay, so what are these questions? Okay, the questions that we have to ask and answer about this are so important they may well change the lives of all men and women forever. Do we wish to join that procession, or don't we? Okay, on what terms shall we join? Where is it leading us? So really the purpose of this is to examine the impact of joining. And when I say joining, we're not like joining a baseball team or a club. They're joining in a very figurative way. They're joining the procession of men. They are becoming a powerful group. Okay, so it says you will object. You have no time to think. Okay, so this is an objection to joining. You have no battles to fight. You have your battles to fight. You rent to pay. Your bazaars to organize. That excuse shall not serve you. Ooh. Getting a little bit nasty here. All right. As you know, the daughters of educated men have always done their thinking from hand to mouth, not under green lamps. Okay? So always in private. Okay, women have always been private, and we need to move into the public sphere, I think it's saying. Okay, they have thought while they stirred the pot, while they rocked the cradle. It was thus that they won us the right to our brand new sixpence. It falls to us now to go on thinking, how are we to spend it? Not really money we're talking about. We're just talking about power. Think we must. Let us think in offices, omnibuses, while we're standing in the crowd watching coronations. Okay, so again, this is that time for action. I think that comes right back up here. It's time. You want to keep thinking about what women's place in society is? Great. But we're going to actually act on it and make it happen. Okay. So I think we can go on to some of the questions. So first thing is we have this main purpose, right? So the main purpose question, we're talking about how it's time for action, right? We're going to examine the impact of joining. We need to say that, like, we're going to do it right now. And I think that urgency comes out here. Okay. The central claim. Okay. Now, up here, I wrote down a bunch of stuff, and this is what I've always told people. Sometimes you just write this down, but it doesn't necessarily help you answer the question directly. It's an indirect procedure. You write down your main idea and your purpose, but they will not simply answer the question for you. It just gets you thinking in a certain way. Now we're looking at that central claim in the passage, and we kind of said, okay, women are joining the ranks of men. They are no longer just domestic. They're going to be influencing. They're going to be powerful. All right. So here it says, educated women face examining the impact of joining, about how to engage with existing institutions. Okay, that's not bad. That's a pretty good claim. Okay, so they're trying to decide. It talks about it here. We have not come here to laugh. We have to ask these questions. We have this, are we going to join or aren't we? Women can have positions of influence in English society only if they give up some of their traditional roles. No, it doesn't say that at all. Male monopoly on power has had grave and continuing effects. Well, it doesn't talk about any effects of that power. The entry of educated women into positions of power. So here we've got educated women here, and we've got educated women here, which mean these are our two possible answers. They have that in common. Into positions of power traditionally held by men will transform those positions. So the question is, are they going to engage with the existing institutions, or are they going to change the institutions? Well, you know what? They are joining. They are joining. Therefore, they are engaging with something that's existing. They are not creating a new one. So A is right. If you're ever in doubt, just look at your notes. Look at the things you've underlined and circled. They will help. All right, Wolf uses the word we. So what is the purpose? So why say we all the time? To say that they're friendly? Okay, definitely not. To advance the need for candor? Well, even if you don't know what that word is, it's not something that you would have necessarily seen here. Okay, so we just hold on to that one. Establish a sense of solidarity among a group of people. Well, yeah, we're saying we need to make this decision. We need to do it all together. And then reinforce the need for respect. Well, no, they're not talking about that. C is the best answer here. And just because we don't know B, the only way B would be right here, if you're worried about the word candor, would be if A, C, and D are all lousy answers, like nothing even close, then B you can choose. But if any of those other answers works, then you don't pick the one that you don't know the vocabulary for. All right. According to the passage, Wolf chooses the setting of the bridge. Okay, why did she choose the bridge to write about? Okay, well, that's up here in the very beginning that we really get that sense. Okay, this is where it's an admirable vantage ground for us to make a survey. So a vantage point is like a view. Oh, well, here you go. Okay. That's our answer. Simple as that. Number 36. Wolf indicates that the procession she describes in the passage. Okay, so we're asked, what does she talk about? What is it about the procession she describes? What does it mean, this procession? So it's talking about men doing all the powerful jobs. I'm not even trying with my handwriting today. All right, so men are taking all the powerful jobs. So it's come to have more practical influence. That doesn't really make any sense. That's not something that we really went through in our notes. Has become a celebrated feature. Okay, procession and parade are synonymous, but we're not talking about celebrating this part of English public life. No. So we're down to C and D. And remember, we're talking about how men have all the powerful jobs. So it's all the richest and most powerful men in England. That's somewhat true. And it says has become less exclusionary in its membership. Aha! Is that necessarily true? Can we find that somewhere? Well, right here it says, right here. I say right here and I can't find my pen. Women are joining. It says, but now for the past 20 years. That has to be D. It has become less exclusionary. They are starting to get involved. Okay, which choice provides the best evidence? Well, again, I just kind of pointed it out, didn't I? It's right in there. So for 37, we're simply looking for those lines in the early 20s, so lines 23 and 24, right there. Okay, now we're on to the last 4 questions here. Wolf characterizes the questions. Remember, I put down Q. I said, okay, they're asking the questions as what? Controversial and threatening, weighty and unanswerable, momentous and pressing, provocative and mysterious. Remember, you can kind of take these as there are 2, like a column A, a column B kind of thing. If you can at least get one of them and eliminate the ones that are definitely wrong, then you'll have a good shot at this. So looking back at that question from 53 to 57, okay. So we have to ask ourselves here now, do we wish to join that procession or don't we? On what terms shall we join? Where is it leading? Okay, so should we join? How will we join? On what terms? And then where is it going to go? Well, you would have to say that, you know, a lot of these have some good in them. A lot of these answers have something right. I would say momentous and pressing. Remember, we already established there was urgency, and that's what pressing has to do with. And momentous means it's important. I'd say that C is the best answer here. There's nothing, I mean, really, threatening? No. Controversial? No. Weighty? Sure, that means like, you know, important. Unanswerable? I wouldn't say that. That's going a little bit too far. Provocative? Okay. Mysterious? No. So I can eliminate something from A and B and D, and therefore that makes C a best answer. If you've picked an answer and you go back through the other ones and you can definitely find something wrong with them, then you're good. Don't go looking for something, like don't go out of your way to find something wrong, but just remember, there's always something sabotaging the bad answers. Okay, so momentous and pressing, important and urgent. Which choice provides the best evidence for that? Okay, so lines 46 through 49 here, we've got these 2. It's either A and B or C and D. So we're going to look first at the grouped ones, 46 and 47, 48 and 49. Okay, so over here, 46 and 47. All right, we are here on the bridge to ask ourselves certain questions, and they are very important questions. We have very little time in which to answer them. Okay, that's a pretty good one, isn't it? I mean, can it get much better than that? Let's see. All right, so lines 46 and 47, was that it? So we are here on the bridge to ask us, oh, wait, that's 48 and 49 right there. Little time is in line 49. Whew. I think these are the questions I have the toughest time with because I go a little bit too fast. But this is definitely true. You know, it's definitely those. Okay, which choice closely captures the meaning of the figurative sixpence? Again, we're not talking about money. We were kind of talking about power. More than money, okay? And I would say of these, it's definitely going to be opportunity. The opportunity to make money and be successful. Not the money itself, it's the opportunity to receive more and to become powerful. All right, the range of places and occasions in the end serve, so why use those places? So if we look back at those, so offices, omnibuses, watching the coronations and the Lord Mayor shows, these are all powerful places to be. Okay, so again, we're talking about power. Okay, we're saying it's a lot of different places. So it is, I wouldn't say it's novel challenge. I don't think that makes any sense whatsoever. I would say pervasive because it's all of the jobs. We wrote that down. It's all of the powerful jobs. So it says pervasive the need for critical reflection is. Because that's what they're saying. Like, should we join or not? That's the critical reflection, and it's going to affect everything in their life. So I would definitely go with B for this one as well. And I mean, enjoyable doesn't make sense. Complex, this isn't a bad answer, but it's not the right one. Okay, so that covers the fourth one. So now we're on to the fifth passage. So the fifth video will be next, and that's the final one in this series. I'll see you next time.